Hello, fellow soap addicts. Welcome back to the channel. I cannot believe they are doing this to Lexie Carver. Just stop for a second and think about the absolute crushing despair and sheer terror that Lexie is going through at this exact moment. She knows she is dying. Again, can you even imagine the psychological torture of that? Being ripped from the peaceful afterlife, brought back to your family, feeling the sun on your face, hugging your son, kissing your husband, only to slowly realize your body is shutting down again. The absolute fear in her eyes when she realizes Dr. Rolf's super serum 2 has failed is just haunting. She is suffocating in this silent, terrifying panic, knowing that the Grim Reaper is standing right behind her, ready to drag her back into the dark. Every time she gets a dizzy spell, every time her vision blurs or her hands shake, it's a brutal reminder that her time is up. It is sick. It is so incredibly cruel. And she is suffering completely alone because she can't tell Abe. She just can't bring herself to shatter his heart all over again. I mean, we all watched that 4th of July episode. We all saw Abe holding her during the fireworks, looking at the sky with so much joy, talking about how he can't wait for dozens more 4th of Julys with her. My heart shattered into a million pieces. How is she supposed to look at this man who has already mourned her once, who literally gave up Paulina to be with her, and tell him that it was all a cruel, temporary joke? She can't, so she is swallowing her terror. She is smiling through the dizzy spells and the terrifying neurological symptoms, pretending everything is perfectly fine while her organs are literally preparing to fail. But let me tell you, that silence is going to break. And it is going to break all over EJ DiMera. The spoilers for the week of July 6th are out, and Lexie is about to go absolutely scorched earth on EJ. And honestly, I am so here for it. I want her to destroy him. The spoilers say Lexie is going to completely lose her temper, and EJ is going to look visibly bruised from the encounter. I don't know if she physically slaps him, though I really hope she does, or if he just looks emotionally beaten down by her words. But EJ deserves every single ounce of her wrath. He needs to feel her pain because EJ played God. He didn't bring Lexie back because it was the right thing to do. He did it for his own selfish DiMera brand arrogance. He thought he could control Dr. Rolf's twisted science. He thought he could just inject her with a serum and everything would be fine. But he didn't factor in the consequences, and now Lexie is the one paying the ultimate price. I mean, she literally asks him the most heartbreaking question. How could you give me my life back just long enough for me to fall in love with it again, only to rip it away? Wow. Just wow. That line alone is devastating. It is the ultimate betrayal. You don't bring someone back from the dead just to make them die a second time. It is a special kind of evil. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at EJ for a second. I know some people are loving this vulnerable, guilty side of EJ, but personally, I am entirely out of sympathy for him. I've been watching this show for years, and this is the worst thing they've done with his character. EJ always does this. He makes a reckless, arrogant decision, it blows up in his face, and then he stands there looking shocked that his actions have consequences. Remember when they tried this kind of God complex storyline with other DiMeras? Yeah, didn't work then either. He is dragging everyone down with him. He is dragging Johnny into the Coruscant drug mess, making his own son break into Sarah's office like a common criminal. And now he has basically sentenced his own sister to a second agonizing death. EJ is a walking disaster zone right now, and he needs to be stopped. Okay, back to the point. While Lexie is secretly dying and preparing to murder EJ with her bare hands, we have Theo and Chanel bonding. And honestly, this is the dynamic I didn't know I needed, but I am entirely here for it. The spoilers say Theo and Chanel are going to find common ground and empathy because they have both been betrayed. And they have. Theo is being manipulated left and right. He is caught in this massive web of lies, completely unaware that his mother is dying again, and he's dealing with all that gobby romance drama. Theo is out here getting his heart played with by Gabi Hernandez, who is clearly just using him to get over Philip. Meanwhile, Chanel is battling aggressive breast cancer while pregnant, and her husband Johnny is out here doing EJ's illegal dirty work instead of focusing on her. Chanel is literally fighting for her life and her baby's life, and Johnny is sneaking into Sarah Horton's office like a common burglar to cover up EJ's tainted drug scandal. It's disgusting. Both Theo and Chanel are giving their hearts to people who are completely betraying their trust. Chanel is exhausted. Theo is overwhelmed. They are both victims of the toxic people in their lives. Johnny is choosing his father's criminal cover-up over his sick wife, and EJ is choosing his own ego over his family's peace. So, watching Theo and Chanel lean on each other, it is beautiful, but it is also so incredibly tragic because we know the massive bomb that is about to drop on them. When Theo finds out that EJ knew Lexie was dying and didn't tell him, when Chanel finds out Johnny broke into Sarah's office for EJ, the fallout is going to be biblical. I am dreading it, but I also can't wait to watch it play out because the acting is going to be phenomenal. Am I the only one who feels like this storyline is just emotionally exhausting? I mean, think about the history here. Lexie's original death was one of the most heartbreaking moments in the history of Days of Our Lives. She died of a brain tumor in Abe's arms. We all cried. We all mourned her. Abe spent years grieving her, talking to her ghost, trying to move on. And then Paulina came along, and Abe finally found happiness again. But EJ just had to ruin it. He just had to play Frankenstein. And for what? A few weeks of false hope? And it is so unfair to Paulina, who literally stepped aside and broke her own heart just so Abe could be happy with Lexie. Can we talk about Paulina for a second? That woman watched her husband walk away with his resurrected ex-wife, and she handled it with so much grace. She cried to Marlena. She suffered in silence during the Juneteenth festival, and she let Abe go. And now Abe is going to be left with no one when Lexie dies again. It's just a massive tragedy for every single person involved, all because EJ couldn't leave well enough alone. And don't even get me started on Dr. Wilhelm Rolf. Why is this man still allowed near a laboratory? Every single time Rolf cooks up a new serum, someone ends up suffering. The Versavix glitch, the dead lab rats, it was all right there. The red flags were massive, and EJ just ignored them because he thought he was smarter than science. Now Lexie is the human lab rat, and her body is rejecting the cure. I am so frustrated with the writers for doing this to Abe and Theo again. It feels like trauma porn at this point. We are just watching these beloved characters get tortured for the sake of drama, and it physically hurts to watch. I am honestly dreading the upcoming scenes where Lexie finally has to confess the truth to Abe and Theo, because you know it's going to happen soon. She can't hide the symptoms forever. The dizzy spells are going to get worse. She's going to collapse, just like she almost did in front of Theo earlier. And when she wakes up in a hospital bed and Sarah or Kayla has to look at Abe and say, "I'm sorry, her organs are failing. Abe is going to absolutely lose his mind. He is going to break in a way we have never seen before." And Theo, poor, sweet Theo. He just got his mom back. He just hugged her and told her how much he missed her. Losing her again is going to completely destroy him, and I am not ready for those scenes. I am going to need an entire box of tissues. If EJ doesn't end up in federal prison for the tainted drugs, he needs to be locked up for what he did to Lexie. There is no redemption arc for this. You can't just say, oops, my bad, when you resurrect someone and then accidentally kill them again. I want Lexie to tear him to shreds in this upcoming confrontation. I want her to make him feel every single ounce of the terror and despair she is feeling right now. She needs to make him look her in the eye and watch her die, because he did this to her. EJ DiMera is the villain of this story, and I am tired of pretending he's just a misunderstood businessman. Okay, I need to take a breath. I am way too worked up over this, but that's what happens when you've been emotionally invested in this show for years. The stakes are so high right now, and I just know these July episodes are going to wreck us all. What do you guys think? Are you as furious with EJ as I am? Do you think there is any miracle cure left? Or is Lexie really gone for good this time? Let me know in the comments, because I need to vent with people who actually understand this madness. I'm gonna go try to calm down before the next episode airs, but honestly, I don't think I can.